Hi ladies, I am Kim Trathen, Kim the Business Coach, and welcome to episode 3 of the Women Making Money live series. This series is all about giving you the tools and the mindset needed to grow your business. It's summertime where I live. You probably can't tell from my jacket, it's cool out this morning, but it's summertime where I live, and a lot of women think that during the summer or during the holidays, they can't make as much money. So, hi Kate, good to see you. No, it's early here. I have morning voice still. I didn't expect that. So this is episode 3. If you ladies have not caught the first couple of episodes, you can either find them inside the group under guides, or you can go out to my website, kimthebusinesscoach.com, and click on the link that says, "This is not a podcast." Okay, it's better. It's a live series. All the replays are loaded right there and will continue to be loaded as I add to this series. So if you haven't caught the first 2 episodes, you'll definitely want to go back and watch those. Today is part 3 of the conversation about the 3 things you need to make more money. So we already covered in the last couple of weeks, we covered step 1, which is to think like a CEO. And this is not just memorizing mantras or writing your favorite Rachel Hollis quote on your mirror. Okay, it's how you make decisions for your business. So it's a really important first step. Then last week we covered step 2, which was showing up like a CEO. And this is not the number of posts and the number of emails that you need to send. It's how you show up for your clients and for yourself inside of your business. So those were the first 2 episodes of the Women Making Money Winning. I guess we are winning. Those were the first 2 topics in the conversation of this 3-part series. Just to clarify too, the Women Making Money series is continuing beyond this. It wasn't just these first 3 episodes of the 3 things you need to make more money. I will be launching more episodes to this. It's just the first 3 happen to be these 3 steps that you need to make more money. So today we are talking about the 3rd step. Step 1, think like a CEO. Step 2, show up like a CEO. And step 3 is to make money like a CEO, and how this may be different than what you think. So you might want to grab a pen and paper, or if you're going to catch this on replay again, you can grab pen and paper at that time. You might want to jot down some notes. And at the end of each of these episodes, series, I give you something to focus on, because I do not want this series, and I want to make this really clear for everybody. If all you do is watch and listen to this once, it's not going to have a massive impact on your business. You have to actually implement it. Okay, so I give you certain steps in each of the first 2 episodes, and I'm going to today as well. So if you really want to use this series, excuse me, my allergies are bad too. If you really want to use this series like it's intended to grow your business and make more money without the hustle, then you want to actually do the work, which means writing down the prompts that I give you or the homework that I give you and actually doing that and applying it to your business. This is some of the work that I do with my clients. Okay, I work with clients one-to-one. I work with service-based female entrepreneurs that are looking to grow and scale without having all the hustle, because the hustle is not required to hit 10K months and beyond. Okay, so if you are curious about working together, if you would like help growing your business faster, just send me a DM or send me an email, or you can fast track the whole process by going to my website and clicking on free consult, and we'll just get a time scheduled to talk about what's going on inside of your business, why you haven't already hit your goals, and what it would look like to work together to hit those goals. So let's get started. Because this is a live series, you can drop questions if you have them as you're watching it. Okay, so we are going to talk about step 3, making money like a CEO. This is going to be a pretty quick training, even though it's super powerful. And what I love about that is I love to, what is the quote, or what is the saying? I don't know, something about like showing by doing, right? I can sit up here and give a 2-hour training, but that doesn't really align with me showing you how simple it can be to run a business, right? And the more simple we can make your business, the easier it is to get your work done in less time. And that's what all my clients want, right? More money, less time working, so they have more time with their families, more time, right? Summertime, sit by the pool, drink a can of LaCroix or whatever beverage of your choice. So this one is going to be a little bit shorter unless people have questions. So if you're new to the group, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to have you as part of the Ambitious Female Entrepreneurs Society. We can't wait to see your post. I hope you join and engage and ask questions and support the other ambitious women in here. If you're new to me, my background is in marketing. I was head of marketing in an actuarial firm for, 7 years or so, and I hated it. I wanted to launch my business. We had 3 kids in multiple sports. I was working 30 hours a week. People thought I was crazy. They didn't understand why I wanted to leave a safe job. They didn't understand why people would pay me money. They didn't understand my experience and my knowledge base. But I did it anyways, and I actually scaled my business to 6 figures while I was still working in corporate. Okay, so I promise you it doesn't have to be super time consuming to scale to the level that you want to be. Fast forward to today, running my 6-figure business, loving it, and helping women crack their code on what it takes for them to scale with more time available in their schedule. Okay, we don't want you sitting behind a computer all day long and all weekend. I did that struggle for a while and it was horrible. Okay, it was absolutely horrible. And these 3 things that I'm sharing with you are some of the biggest things that shifted that for me. Learning how to think like a CEO, show up like a CEO, and make money like a CEO. So let's get started. I'm going to give you a second here. If you have pencil and paper, whether you're catching it on replay or you're on live, if you don't, just think about it in your head, but it's really interesting if you can write it down so that you can see your answer. When you hear making money like a CEO, what do you think? Okay, I'm just going to give you a second here. I'll take a sip of my coffee. What do you think when you hear making money like a CEO? Just jot it down real quick. Get the thought in your brain, whether you're live or on a replay. Because what most people think about is they think about the money that they're bringing into their business. You might have thought something like, oh, it means I'm making a lot of money. You might have thought something like, oh, for sure 10K a month, or 500K a year, or 100K a year. You might have had a picture of somebody that's like a C-suite level executive, right? People have all different visions of what they think it means to be making money like a CEO. You might think it means that you're already at the 6 or 7 figure mark. So it's really important to even notice where your brain goes when you think about what does it mean to be making money like a CEO. If that's where your brain went, no shame, a lot of people does. But that's not really, that doesn't give you a full picture of what it means to be making money like a CEO. So I want to challenge that belief that you may be holding on to of what that really means. I wrote down, I have some notes here because I don't want to forget. So I have a little bit, my definition of what it means to be making money like a CEO has shifted, morphed, and changed. Hi, Rachel, over time. And I have 3 things that I want to share with you that it really means to be making money like a CEO. This is my definition of what it means to be making money like a CEO, because the amount of money that you're generating is a really narrow view to take when you look at it, and that's just like one piece of the puzzle of the things that may be going on when you're making money like a CEO. So number 1, I'm going to give you the 3 things. Number 1, when you're making money like a CEO, I think it means that you're really confident that you can generate more money. So how does that really show up in your business? If you are fully confident in your abilities to generate more money, create more clients, sign more clients, whatever that looks like for you, if you were 100% confident in your abilities to generate more money, you wouldn't be scared to spend money. It also might be showing up where if you have like 17,000 different payment plans that people can choose from, if you knew without a doubt that clients were coming in next month, my guess is, I know what I saw in my own business, you wouldn't be pushing those payment plans. I felt comfortable, I felt some comfort at one point in time earlier on in my business of offering payment plans, because where my thoughts were, and I've talked to many other women that are in this place now, where my thoughts were at that time was, yeah, but if I sell a payment plan, I know that I have that money coming in over the next few months. All that really was part of what I like to call the employee hangover. In my job, I was paid weekly. So it felt really good and reassuring to see that money hit my bank account every week because that's how I was used to getting paid as an employee. But if you have full confidence, right, you're not afraid to spend it, you know the money is coming in because you have full confidence in your ability to generate more money. And I love to think about extreme examples because I think sometimes it's easier for our brains to think about. So just go with me on this for a minute, even if you don't feel like this is you right now. But picture like, Jeff Bezos or Richard Branson or even Beyonce, right? Just think of somebody that you look up to that runs a multi-million, billion-dollar company. Can you imagine if they were like, oh, what if this is it? We just did XYZ. What if we never make money again? Like, that would sound absurd for them to think that, but that's how so many women are running their businesses, right? And that's why these 3 steps, not the 3 I'm giving you today just under making more money, but these 3 steps that these first 3 episodes were about of thinking like a CEO, show up like a CEO, make money like a CEO, they are all intertwined. Because your confidence that you can generate more money is so tied into your mindset about your ability to grow your business and hit those goals, right? So if you were totally confident, to me, making money like a CEO means you are totally confident in your abilities to generate more money. You notice that's not at all tied to what you've already generated in your business. Okay, these 3 things that I'm giving you today under making more money, I'm just making sure I'm not saying something incorrect here. All 3 of them are things that you can do right now regardless of what level of income you're generating in your business. If you're at 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, amazing. These are still things that you're going to want to look at and assess to see if there's any tweaks, shifts, or gaps that you need to fill so that you can continue scaling faster. But if you're not at that level, these are things that you can still do right now. You can be 100% confident in your abilities to generate more money, even if you haven't hit your goals in the past. Let that sink in for a minute. You can be 100% confident in your ability to generate more money, regardless of what you've generated in the past. Your level of confidence does not have to be predicted or determined by the level of income you've produced in the past. It's actually a choice available to you of how you want to look at it. Okay, so making money like a CEO, if you're just hopping on, it looks like we have a few people joining. Making money like a CEO, I want you to sit down and think about your definition of that first, and now I'm sharing with you my definition because most people just think about the money that they're generating. Okay, so the second step to making money, and it's not that these steps go in order, these are 3 independent things that I think of that encompass what it means to be making money like a CEO. So the second thing, and this is more of a tangible one, so your level of confidence feels very intangible to people, and there are actually benchmarks, measurements, and specific tips, tools, practices that you can implement to increase your confidence. Okay, you're not just subject to whatever level of confidence you have right now. That's actually something that you can increase. But this next one is a very tangible thing. It's something that likely, not a guarantee, but likely applies to you if you are not hitting your goals in business and you're below the 6-figure mark. It doesn't often apply. People have usually straightened this out by the time they're over the 6-figure mark. You may or may not have if you're under the 6-figure mark. It is having separate business assets. And what I mean by that is separate business assets from your family's income, your family savings account, let's say. The reason that I think this is a very important one to making money like a CEO is because when you carve out, even if you're running your business as, like if you're here in the US, I don't know about other parts of the world, but here in the US, if you're running it as a sole proprietor, you legally do not have to have separate business assets. You just have to have accounting for that business income, but it could all be lumped in with your family's assets. What I hear from a lot of women is that when they do that, they don't necessarily feel like they have authority over making financial decisions for their business because all that money is just commingled in with their family assets. So the way this shows up for a lot of women is they think that they have to ask their husband or their partner, whatever their situation is, but they have to ask this other person that is involved in their finances if they can make an investment in their business. The risk you run with doing that, okay, I'm a happily married woman. My husband and I have an awesome relationship. And in the beginning, I did talk with him about it because I was taking money out of the family assets. But let me tell you, as my business scaled and I carved out separate assets for myself, and now my business is self-sustaining, right? It's its own living, breathing entity. It generates money. I have expenses, right? Every business has expenses, and some of my expenses are investing with my mentors. But because my business is a living, breathing entity on its own, I don't ask my husband before I make an investment for my business from my business assets. It's not that I don't value his opinion, and I'm usually so excited. I share with him what's going on, right? He knows like what mentor I'm investing in. Today I'm flying first class for the first time for a mastermind that I joined. He knows all of those things because we talk, and it's great, and we have a relationship, but I don't need his permission or approval to make a business investment for myself. He's not working inside my business. He doesn't live inside my brain. And when those assets are commingled, a lot of women have a hard time separating that, and they look to their husband or their partner for this joint decision on what business investments they're going to make. And what really happens is you are outsourcing a business decision to somebody that doesn't work, live, and breathe inside your business and inside your brain. You are outsourcing the business decision to somebody. So in the example of coaching, whether it's somebody looking to coach with me looking to coach with my mentors, because I think having a mentor is always incredibly important. Or let's say it's you, if you outsource the business decision to your husband or partner, you are asking somebody to make the decision for you or help you or weigh in on the decision that is going to carry all of the risk in their mind and none of the benefits. So for example, right, one of my clients was struggling with this and she was trying to talk to her husband about it. Well, he wasn't on the sales call. He didn't hear all the drama going on in her mind and how stressed she is and fearful that she's not going to make it. He's not implementing her marketing strategy. He doesn't know what's going on in her industry, in the online space. He's not an expert there. All he sees is the money coming out of their bank account. Okay, that's what it means to be outsourcing the business decisions to somebody that feels like they're taking on all the risk, but they're not immediately seeing the benefit. He wasn't going to be in our coaching sessions, and he wasn't tasked with the responsibility of growing her business. So even if your business is not at the level where it's a living, breathing entity that is self-sustaining, I think a very simple solution is to have the conversation ahead of time with your spouse or partner. And this is personal for everybody, but I'm just sharing my opinions with you. Have the conversation ahead of time with your spouse and partner of, here's my business. What can we afford as a family for me to take and carve out and set aside as business assets for me to run my business from? And now you have those assets carved out that you have authority over making decisions for how you need to use those funds to invest. That's how, even if you're not at the level where you're making X dollars a month, whatever that is for you, whatever your goals are, but you can choose right now to carve out assets for your business so that you have complete authority over your business decisions without relying on somebody outside of your business to give their permission or approval. Okay, the third step, or the third component, the third piece to making money like a CEO is that you value the investments you make. You value them. That doesn't mean that they're necessarily easy to make, and it doesn't mean they're the cheapest ones, but it means you value the investments that you make. You can see how this is going to further your business, so you are more than willing to get resourceful to make it happen. I have somebody right now that's working her tail off to work together. She's contacting banks, taking out a personal loan, right? There are different things that you can do, because if your business is stuck, if your business is stagnant, sometimes you have to get resourceful to make it happen, okay? So these, to recap again, making money like a CEO means that you're confident in your abilities to generate more money, means you have separate business assets that you have complete authority to direct how you're going to use those assets, and you value the investments you make. Those are the components that it means to be making money like a CEO in your business. It's really, to throw around a term that I think is highly overused, but it really comes down to your money mindset, right? It's how you're viewing the money. It's how you feel about it. It's how you feel about your abilities to generate more money. But then there is also this component of carving out so that you have complete authority over directing those assets. So when you think about these three things, this is the work for you to do in your business so that you can implement this and make any changes that you need to make or any shifts. If you think about these three things, your confidence, if you have separate business assets or not, and if you invest in what you really need to grow, or if you put off making those investments, the answer to those three questions is what you need to identify, like, is there a gap for you in one of these areas? And if there is, that's where you need to focus and shift. Okay, so let's say you don't feel confident in your abilities to generate money. You actually feel really is unconfident, inconfident, you don't feel confident. Then that's where you need to focus. Maybe you feel confident, but you're butting heads with your husband or your spouse, your partner over the finances. Then that's where you need to focus, right? Maybe it's all three, and that's okay, but you can take them one at a time. Most people that aren't hitting their income goals have a gap in one or more of these three areas. Most people do that aren't hitting their goals. Some people that are hitting their goals still have a gap in one of these three areas, and you could hit your goals faster if you shift those areas. Okay? And the biggest thing is, if you notice with these, you don't need a ton of money to make them happen, right? You could have $1,000 and carve that out as your business assets, or you could have $10,000, right? Like, it doesn't matter the level of money that you currently have. You can implement all three of these things. And if you go back and watch the replay of the first two episodes, if you truly are thinking like a CEO, you truly are showing up like a CEO, and now you are managing your money and making money like a CEO, these three things alone are enough to have a major transformation on your business and the amount of money that you're making. So you can treat your business this way right now. You can make the choice today, and it's just a done deal. So fun. So be really honest. What would change for you when you look at those three things? What would change for you if you decided you were going to be making money like a CEO? It's a major boss move there, major boss move. So remember, if you're still working on those first ones, or you're catching the replay, to think like a CEO, show up like a CEO, and make money like a CEO, if this is work that you want to dive a little bit deeper into, go to my website and download my free guide. Okay, it's kimthebusinesscoach.com/freebie or freebies. Can't remember right now if it's plural. There's a link right on the homepage to it. You'll download that free guide. It's going to walk you through 32 differences in how successful entrepreneurs think and act compared to struggling or hustling entrepreneurs. So if you haven't already gotten that, go to kimthebusinesscoach.com, download that free guide. And as I mentioned earlier, if you are looking for help growing your business and you would like to grow it faster, then let's connect. I am traveling today, flying out in just a couple of hours. So my response time might be a little delayed, but I would love to hear from you. You can comment below the training, you can send me a DM or shoot me an email. I am happy to discuss with you what it could look like if we work together one-to-one to grow your business. That is it, ladies. Mwah! Everybody have an amazing day, an amazing week, and I will see you next week.